Eric Kwejo Asari of GMPC, it's your birthday today. This is a special one from all the folks at the sports department at TV3. It's your birthday, Eric Kwejo Asari of GMPC. Happy birthday to you. Now, a TV3 missions report on the plight of pupils of the Wa Methodist School for the Blind has yielded some results. A non-governmental organization has come to the aid of the school. But first, we'll show you how or what the plight of the students are or pupils in that school as aired originally in the earlier story. And then we'll tell you also about basic materials for these students and how it's helping to improve their education, the struggles that they have to go through. Take a look at this.
Like terms. What are they doing?
It is a difficult life, one that is not normal. They are at a disadvantage, but many have landed here. Some can partially see, while others are totally blind. They are here to acquire education, but it is a dream that comes with a lot of difficulty. The children are disadvantaged. The kindergarten classes are worse off.
This is what they have. I'm trying to move it around, quite a difficult one. That's not all. They have this one here. This is what we call the swing or the seesaw, if you want to call it that. Not in a very good shape, but this is what they have. But hey, the dangerous of them all, the most dangerous, is this slide here. This is what you see, metal, with a huge hole in here. Kids are supposed to sit on this and slide down. But certainly, this is not an ideal situation. They simply can't use it. And you can see that for days, months, and perhaps years, it has never been used.
The playground tells a tale of neglect.
In fact, nothing for them to play with. We really struggle. There's a time they need just to go out like the sighted children, just to play with things like seesaw, the instruments that the sighted people have as KG, but we don't, none is here. In fact, we struggle.
The school has not even given thought to getting the playground fixed due to the challenges with funding for other equally important activities.
Imagine if the person cannot feed, no money to feed such children, then what about their comfortability? So we are still pleading that the government should come into the aid of these disabled people so that at least they are part of the community, they are part of the society. They can also feel that they are being loved. So that their life can go on, because some of them complete. For instance, there's a woman there who completed there and she has come back to teach.
Hundreds of these young ones live on this compound. What will enable them develop themselves is not there.
As they cannot see, without the materials, they will not know the real subject. Even though they will know what you are teaching, but they always want to have the feel of the object. That or the real thing that you the teacher wants the children to grab. And without the materials, they will be doubting.
Problems in the classrooms also curtail academic work. Teachers speak of great worry. They are special children who need special attention, but that special attention is not forthcoming. In fact, parents have even neglected their own. Over 200 children left in conditions that can retard their development. And so though they are ready to contribute their quota to developing Ghana, certain conditions threaten their development. As they rehearse to take part in the Independence Parade, there's one thing on the minds of these children at the Wa Methodist School for the Blind, and that is what is told by the officials.
I also inquired how the various assemblies where these children are coming from, because they are coming from all over the country. Some are from Upper East. And the districts, the various district assemblies that support these disabled children in the various districts, the common fund that comes in the name of these disabled people, persons, they call their parents and then they give the monies to them, and they don't give any money. As soon as they put the children in the car and they come, that ends it. So sometimes provisions like soap, like toothpaste and other things becomes difficult for them.
Though lucky they find themselves here, school officials say this should not be the end to supporting the disadvantaged. Effort to support unfortunate ones should be increased.
And that was a report filed earlier by my senior colleague Bright Nanam for here at TV3. Now, this conversation is made possible as part of our Missions Ghana initiative and funded by Star Ghana with support from Danida UK and the European Union. I've been joined by three guests. One, Jeremiah Beidu Shea. He is the head of planning special education division at the Ghana Education Service headquarters. Chief, good morning and thank you very much for your time. Next to him is Isaac Ansah, an advocate for inclusive education for the blind. Ike, good morning. How are you doing? And Mr. Derek Komari is a final year student at the Ashesi University. He's a founder in technical era and 2018 Queen's Young Leader. Chief, welcome. How are you doing? Great. Good to have you. Let's start with you, conversation, Jeremiah. This is the SARS situation out there. What comes to mind immediately?
Well, I think that it's not a very pleasant one, of course. And we need to look at it from so many angles. It's very unfair to teachers and education authorities for parents to just go and dump your children at a school entrance and leave the children just like that. It's very bad. We've been to some monitoring in that particular school where school have reopened. Getting to the about 4th week, children have not reported for school.
Wow.
Yes.
What was the reason?
The reason was that parents say they don't have money to bring the children to school. Sometimes we have to take money from our own pockets. So at that instant, we took money from our own pockets, made a mobile transfer for the parent to bring the child to school. This was a very brilliant child, and we couldn't really stand it. So these are some of the challenges that we have in the schools. But pertaining to, she talked about materials not being supplied and all that. In fact, we have procured a lot of materials, braille sheets and all that for them. But sometimes you need to request, then we give it to you, because the schools are many, and then based on your requisition, we...
Doesn't the Ghana Education Service, for example, have a firm hold on what the needs of the schools are particularly? I mean, if you have your head of special education, so within, say, Kole Klote, you know how many special schools there are and what their particular needs are and how you... Do you have such data that you use?
Yes. We have.
So why do they have to make a request then if you already have the data?
These are materials that are in use, and probably we might over-supply you.
Or
these materials, undersupply you. So you, in fact, you and your teacher, you are using these materials.
Okay.
So you know the stock that are,
Or is it the case that there's not enough to go around, so we are economizing on the distribution?
Not really. Not really. We have a lot of braces. We have a lot of them.
Isaac, let me come to you now. So how difficult was it going through the educational system? Tell me. This is a challenge that people who have your situation find themselves in. Was it difficult for you?
Yeah, thank you very much. Yes, it was somehow difficult because just as we are lamenting, in fact, it all has to do with acquisition of raw materials and rayon papers and what have you, because sometimes, even though some may come, but at a point in time, you would hear that some are finished and we would have to economize some of them, and it's unhealthy. It's unhealthy. And moreover, sometimes too, because most of our textbooks, as at the time, were not in Braille, we constantly relied on our sighted counterparts to help us get our how do you call it, our notes to also I mean fill part.
Okay.
So if the textbooks are not in Braille, you are compelled to rely on them, because if you don't rely on them to get the notes, you also stuck behind, and you fall flat
on your back. I see. Derek, let's talk about solutions. So you know what the problem is. I think we all acknowledge around this table.
Yeah.
What help is there?
Well, I believe strongly that the time has come for us to move on from Braille to technology.
Right.
So basically computers and smartphones.
Okay. Mr. Shea, do you agree?
Yes, I agree.
That we need to move from Braille to technology.
I agree with you.
Great. Derek.
Yeah. And so you go to the school and they spend about 90% of their time working on Brailles, and we have shortages, we have problems with the materials. Why don't we move forward? Because if we should introduce technology to these students, they can write their own notes, they can submit assignments, everything can be taught through the technology. They can read, and you don't have to use Braille machines, you don't have to buy Braille papers. That's so expensive.
The hard fact, Derek, is that in most of our schools, they don't even have electricity to start with. The computers are not there. As recent as last week, we're talking about what? Drokochua, in somewhere in the eastern region, where ICT grades are dropping every year. They have 2 malfunctioning computers, and we are talking what?
But
technology.
You need to understand that these blind students depend on it. That is their life. It changes their whole life trajectory. Now, who will employ a person without IT skills?
Right.
How do you even connect with your families without Facebook? How would you have been able to speak to your child or your family member on WhatsApp? But they don't have access to it, right? And so I think that it's possible for them to learn how to use computers. It's possible for them to learn how to use phones. So why don't we invest into that and provide it for them, because it's something that will just take them very far. It will provide inclusive education, because they'll be able to go to universities and fit very well. When you go to the universities, how many blind students do you have there?
That is it.
How many teachers can even translate the Braille to normal thing for the teachers to mark? But with technology, they can type their own assignments, submit their own notes.
So would they need a special kind of computer to be able to do this?
No. No.
The regular computers.
We can use any computer of any kind. All we need, what helps us is a particular software by name JAWS. So when that software is being installed on that particular computer, you can work with it. You can do anything whatsoever. Anything any person does.
It will guide you.
It will guide you.
Mr. Shea, so what's the plan? What is the GES's plan? When are we leaving Braille behind? To the Stone Age,
well,
to technology?
I wouldn't say that entirely we can leave Braille behind. I wouldn't say so. But then we've also provided the schools with computers, and some have the JAWS.
Okay.
And they are working with it.
Not all of them.
Not all.
What percentage have JAWS, and what percentage has?
I wouldn't just on top of my head tell it, because the JAWS is just a software which is in the Akropong has it. In fact, schools for the blind, we have only 2.
Okay.
Yeah.
The Akropong School for the Blind, and then WA School for the Blind.
That's right.
But then we have some units, 4 units.
Okay.
That's the Cape Coast School for the Deaf have a blind unit.
Okay.
Becheni School for the Deaf have a blind unit. Volta School for the Deaf have a blind unit.
Okay.
And then 3 Kings Special Schools in the Volta region also has a blind unit. In addition to the deaf blind units at the Demonstration School for the Deaf at Mampong, and then Ashanti School for the Deaf in Jamasi. Yeah.
Interesting. So the bigger plan is that we need to move away from it. I'm looking at the speed. Can you make us a promise as head of Special Education Division DES? I like timelines. I like promises. This is a good initiative.
I wouldn't be able to make a promise.
Why not?
I'm not the director there. I'm the unit head for planning.
Okay.
And then I'm not the director general too. But then I think that we can make a lot of inputs to ensure that we move speed on.
What does it look like? I know that you're making a lot of inputs. I'm looking for a pointer to say that we're in April. By December, for example. I'm looking for something tangible to hold on to. Can you give me anything like that?
I wouldn't.
You wouldn't.
I wouldn't be able to do that. Yeah.
I thank you very much. Let me give you final thoughts, Omari.
Yeah.
So you say we need to expand this. You're already doing this,
Yeah.
transporting students from here to help them.
Yeah.
What do we need to expand finally?
So we need to provide the materials. So in the blind school, Ekropon School for the Blind, MTN fortunately donated a computer lab, but now most of the computers are down.
Okay.
The schools are not showing any signs of investing into this. They are all relying on Braille. And when they get the
But if
opportunity...
they don't have money, what do they do?
But when they get the opportunity to ask for funds, they're asking for funds for Brailles.
Okay.
When they can actually invest into that and try to
Have
get...
you told the
students-
headmasters that, look, stop asking for Braille and ask for computers?
Yes, and so that's what we are fighting for.
Okay.
And so currently we are training 100 students. We are hoping to train the 40 students who are graduating to use smartphones before they leave. And so we are currently looking out for sponsorships to be able to acquire smartphones for each of them.
Right.
So when they come out to the world, they can use WhatsApp, Facebook, send emails, read news, do everything, even use Uber, right? And so that's the world we want to
I thank you very much indeed. That's all we have time for, unfortunately. Mr. Jeremiah Bedu Shea is the head of Planning Special Education Division of the Ghana Education Service, and also Derek Omari is the founder, Tech Era and 2018 Queen's Young Leader, as well as Isaac Ansa is the advocate for inclusive education for the blind. This conversation is made possible by Missions Ghana. It's initiative at TV3 and is funded by Star Ghana with support from UKAID, Danida and the European Union. When we return after this break, VGMAs will be there. Olale, Ashiwe. We'll be right back.